With the demand, in my personal opinion, this is one of the most sought after cars of our time. Okay, so today I wanted to do a video on kind of a review and showing the different options of the C8 from a guy that's had two Z06 C7s, a couple C6s, C5s. I think I kind of have a good perspective and feel of the differences in the cars. We're gonna go for a drive and I'll kind of do some talking and reviewing and showing you guys my personal opinion. Take it with a grain of salt of what I think of the C8 compared to the C7Z, the C7 Stingray. So one of the similarities between this and the C7 is how convenient and easy the top is to come off and how light it is. So it's gorgeous outside today. We'll take the top off and go for a cruise. One of the disadvantages to this over a C7 is the C7, you could put your golf clubs or luggage in there, put the top in. This, it's either luggage or top. You don't get both options. I'll show you that.
So how are you taking the top off? What do you do?
Just quick 2 latches here, 1 latch back here. Top weighs 3 pounds.
It just goes in like a glove.
Just like that. Now you have no room for luggage unless you use the frunk. So it's golf clubs or top. C7, you could have your golf clubs and the top. They also say these are good for 2 sets of golf clubs. I disagree. My 1 set of golf clubs, which is not a big set, takes up the entire back. But it definitely gives it a more exotic look now from this point of view. One other thing I wanted to mention was the sun visors in the C7s, when they fold up, maybe it's just me, but like they always stuck out and it kind of looked funny like ears. The C8, they did a really good job tucking them flush when the top is still off. So it works out really nice. So one of the things I really like about this car is just the drivability, but it's got this really cool option on the front of it where I can push this button. And this comes with a 3L, and you can see exactly what the front of the car is doing, like with the camera. I don't know if the C7 actually had that, because I had a 2L. This is a 3L, so anyway. This is a really cool option that came with the C8. My wife's 2020 Blazer actually has it, but the C7 did not have it, and it's a rear-facing camera. So instead of just the rear view mirror, you can flip the switch, and then you get a full camera view behind you, which actually comes in really handy in tight parking spots.
What's happening?
So the cool thing about one of the options you can get with the C8, and it comes with a lot of exotic cars, is when you're hitting a big steep approach like this, you can lift the front of the car 2 inches, which is a make or break. One of the mistakes I made with my last C7 Z06 was I put the ZR1 front bumper on it and then I lowered the car, which actually took a lot of drivability out of the car. I could not get in and out of a lot of parking lots. This thing does remarkable with that 2-inch lift. Speed bumps, steep approaches, I have yet to have a problem. I have 1,000 kilometers on the car, which is 600 miles, I think. Another really cool feature that these have, in the C7, you had to flip through your options to change things up. On these, you can have your stored modes, and you can just hit the Z mode on your steering wheel. It changes all of the dash configuration, and this is how I have mine stored for Z mode. Opens the exhaust, shifting, engine and brake feel and everything like that, all off the push of a button. So you can still have all of your regular drive modes with the dial indicator. So if you just turn it, you know, it'll go to your sport mode, and this is how I have my sport mode set. And then you can go to your track mode, which is a different animal, and it's very aggressive, very rough riding. It's loud, but it's a pile of fun to drive.
What's your favorite mode?
Oh, track mode, of course.
Oh.
Yeah. You can actually auto set your lift location. So mine's already lifting because I've saved previously this bump up in front of us. No problem getting over the obstacle. I just go over it, and then when we get to the other side, car automatically will lower, and there it goes right there, automatically lowered, back to regular driving. That, in my personal opinion, would be about this car with a 0 to 60 of 2.7 seconds. I think it would take down my stage 2 Lingenfelter C7. And like an example would be is just how fast the shifts are here. Like, she rips pretty good. So I'm actually gonna walk you guys through this with the GM app. I think it's cute when people think you can buy these cars for 60,000 US. Obviously the pricing I'm gonna do today is in Canadian dollars because I'm Canadian. With the demand, in my personal opinion, this is one of the most sought after cars of our time. It is a 2-year wait, depending on the dealer, a 1 to 2 year wait right now to get one of these cars, and that's almost unheard of. So yes, the base model on this car is $60,000 US. If you could find one for MSRP, good luck. So one of the first options I added to mine is I added the 3L interior. And in US dollars, you're already at 72,000 US, or 90,000 Canadian, quick math. Some of the color options, you know, are premium. Extra yellows, blues, oranges and stuff are 1,000 to 500 US. Stripes on the cars cost money. I custom vinyl wrapped my roof. I got a really good deal on it, but still, you're a couple $1,000s to do that, right? Canadian. Interior wise, I did some of the yellow stitching, yellow seat belts, yellow brake calipers. Some of that's standard, some of it's not, with the 3L interior. This is not a Z51 car. You probably think I'm crazy. Hear me out. I was putting a high wing spoiler on anyways. Doesn't come with a Z51. I was changing the wheels anyways. I don't care about the Z51 tires. I did not get the Z51 brakes with it, and that's kind of, in my opinion, the only thing I lost on, because I changed everything else anyways. Engine appearance package is the carbon fiber package in here. That's the carbon fiber up there. That's $1,000 US for that package. The roadside safety, if it matters, that's in the front and the front, was $175 US. Probably not a make or break. I do not have the wrap on the hood, so we can skip that. These wheels are not a GM option wheel. These are the Bosun wheels. I have 20s and 21s on them instead of the standard 19s, 20s. These were $8,000 Canadian for these wheels and tires. So again, adds up. So for me, getting the Z51 with the tires didn't make a difference. Magna Ride suspension is inside. I can change the stiffness of the suspension. And that's what these wires are here. Was a $2,000 US, $3,000 Canadian option. Front lift memory, where I can lift the front of the car, $2,000 US, $3,000 Canadian. Yellow brake calipers, $1,100 US. The red engine cover on there, $500, call it $600 US, $1,000 Canadian for an engine cover. Competition bucket seats were only a $500 option, which in my opinion is a lot of value, because if you were to buy those seats after, you'd be thousands. Same as the steering wheel was a $600 option. It's probably a $2,000 steering wheel, so it's money really well spent. Yellow stitch interior, $1,500 US, like it adds up. Carbon fiber interior pieces, $1,500 US. It has the GM Performance exhaust on it. I thought that was $2,000 US. I must have skipped over that one. The GM carbon fiber ground effects were $5,000 Canadian for that. So it all adds up. All in all, you're north of 100 grand real fast US for a car. You can get a base model car at 1L by all means. It's just a very basic Corvette. iPhone, the Apple CarPlay auto connects. You don't have to plug it in. And for me, a big pet peeve, because I'm impatient, the Bluetooth connects as soon as you start the car, like within seconds. There's not a 30-second period.
Apple CarPlay is wireless.
It's wireless, like you don't have to plug it in. But the Bluetooth also connects within seconds of starting the car, not 30 seconds, like 1.5 seconds. That's my personal opinion on the car. Take it with a grain of salt. I love the exotic look. I would take it over a C8 Z06 any day of the week. No, it's not standard. Yes, GM moved the engine to the back. But you know what? It's very exotic. It's very fun to drive. I love the lightning fast shifts, and I wouldn't change a thing about the car. And I'm super excited to see what they announce for the Z06. But dollars to donuts, my opinion, I've had 3 Z06s, like more if you count the C6 and C5, and I will take this any day of the week over those. So super comfortable in here, lots of space. You know, I'm 6'1", I've got tons of room. Even with the roof on, I have lots of room. I guess one of the pet peeves of having a mid-engine car, and I love exotic cars and you would never get away from this, is I have clutter and shit on my seat all the time, and a passenger comes to get in the car. Well, on my C7 or C6 or C5, I could just take what's on the seat, throw it in the back and deal with it later. Not an option anymore. Now I have to actually clean up after myself, and my wife's not here to do it for me. So I have to take everything out of here and usually put it in the frunk and then I forget about it. But overall, it's definitely more comfortable than a C7 for sure. Drives better, it's much better behaved, but can be more aggressive when you want it to be. Doesn't have that really low-end torque in different RPM bands, but out of the whole, I haven't raced a C7Z, but I think it would take it. Like even mine with the Lingenfelter kit on it, I'm pretty sure this would take it down on a 0 to 60. Not a 60 plus, but a 0 to 60. To give a shout out to GM right about now for my airbag light that came on at 900 kilometers. Anyway, setting that aside, I'm just gonna get rid of that code because I haven't made it back to the dealer yet to deal with it. I love the shift controls in it. It's very exotic. It actually looks very similar to like a Huracan. So it's just nice, you just flip it, you're in drive. The car in sport mode or tour mode drives very tame, very calm, it's much simpler to drive than a Z06. I'm almost 40, so for me, I'm all about the automatic. Like, you know, if I have a bottle of water here or a Starbucks because I'm feeling a little extra white, I'll have a Starbucks, but it's definitely nice that way. I have a 2020 Colorado, and my wife has a 2020 Blazer RS, and this is smoother than the both of those. It blows my mind, and I don't know if it's the Magna Ride, but it's just unreal how smooth this car rides over anything. Like unreal.